The events in Parkland yesterday are difficult for all of us to understand.
And even more difficult to explain to our kids. Dr. Bushman is a psychologist, and she joins us now live in the studio. Thanks very much for being here, Doctor. And I wish it was under better circumstances, but a lot of us with kids are grappling with how to talk to them about it. Obviously, the younger the kid, the less information you want to give, but older kids are probably hearing stuff at school from their friends, maybe even looking at things on social media. How do parents deal with that? How do you know what to say and what not to say?
Well, first, I think it's about parents knowing and understanding and talking and communicating with their kids, right? First, getting an understanding of what their questions are and what their concerns are based on maturity level. First, to start off with, right? That's going to set the tone to know what questions to continue to ask them and see what questions that they're asking.
And Rick brings up the point about social media. I mean, a lot of these kids who we talked to were in the school as it was happening, getting reports on social media. I've heard a lot of people saying that their kids have been texting them, asking them what's going on because they've already found out. I mean, there's no really closing the floodgates because they have phones. So how do you kind of temper that and control that and try to regulate what they're seeing and what they're hearing?
Well, I think first of all, if you're going to try to regulate things, it's important to be consistent and to be able to follow through with the regulation. What I'm suggesting and what comes to mind for me is talking through it with the kids, working with them, and as it's coming up for them, giving explanation and doing it in a co-way where you're aware of everything that they're reading and allowing for understanding for you to be explaining what's going on.
All right, so maybe you can help me because my 7th grader said to me this morning, "Daddy, why? Why did this happen?" I didn't know what to say to her. I don't know why it happened.
Well, first of all, I think it's great that you don't know what happened and to be able to say it to her, and it's all right to let kids know that sometimes we're concerned and we're not exactly sure what the reasoning is, right? We know that this has happened and we know that it was caused by a person, and people make poor choices. People make poor choices, and it doesn't mean that it's necessarily a bad guy that did something, but it's a poor choice. And then you can discuss what other options and choices would look like.
We saw a lot of these survivors yesterday outside the school, and so many of them just looked shocked, kind of like no emotion as they were just giving these accounts. And, you know, adults are having a hard time coping with this as well. The first responders, even, you know, the people out reporting, the parents, everyone's been so scared by this and shaken. So how should adults deal with it?
I think first is just getting in touch with what their concerns are as well and being honest, utilizing support systems, talking among the community, and really working together collaboratively is very important. It would be natural to be experiencing fear at a time like this, and it's important as adults are experiencing this to set the tone for children.
It's still so raw, Dr. Bushman. I mean, we are a little over 24 hours from this event. There are vigils that are being held. There will be funerals in the coming days. Talk to us about the weeks ahead, the months ahead. What are the challenges that this community, South Florida as a whole, are going to be dealing with emotionally as we grapple with what happened?
Well, emotionally, everybody heals at their own pace, and everybody experiences responses from a traumatic event at their own pace as well, right? Two people can be at the same situation. It's individuality that's involved, and there's no right or wrong way to experience. Often parents feel compelled to encourage their children to feel their feelings or to express emotion when we all have different ways of coping, and by taking our time through it, being observing what our children are experiencing, and again, walking through it with them and communicating.
Dr. Bushman, thank you so much for coming in. Such a tough topic. Everybody needs a little bit of help, and I'm glad you were able to provide some. Thank you.
Thank you.